Hello, hello. Tara, can you hear me?
Good morning. I can hear you
Oh,
now.
good. Okay, fantastic. Good. Thank you.
Welcome.
Hi, Rainey. Hi, Alejandra. Good morning. Geshe Gillick is manifesting some cold symptoms, so he won't be here this morning.
Okay. See you
Donna,
next Sunday.
Donna's Happy New Year, by the way.
Happy New Year. I like your hair.
Thank you. I like yours. Uh, all right. We'll see you next time then.
Okay, bye-bye.
Hi, Venerable Lobsang Damcho.
Hi, how are you doing?
I'm doing great. I hope you are too. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
I don't know if you heard me tell Alejandra that Geshe Gillick is manifesting some cold symptoms right now, so he won't be here today. Donna Cease will be leading today's talk,
Okay, great.
just so you know. Hey, Rainey. Hi, Diane. Good morning. Good morning.
Good morning. Happy New Year, everybody.
Happy New Year. Dear.
All right, good morning. Good morning. Okay. As you can see, I'm not Geshe-la, so I'm sorry to disappoint, but I'll do my best to have a great presentation this morning. And if you'd like, we can start with prostrations. Those of you who are comfortable with it, if you're not familiar with it, it's completely optional. We do this to show our respect for the teachings, and it's also a good little practice in suppressing the ego. So I should introduce myself. I'm Donna Cease or Dolma C, former SPC. Now Linda the Fabulous is doing that job, and I'm our chant master now. So that said, let's begin with our morning prayers. So turn to page 34, the red tab in the gold prayer book, and we'll start with the Shakyamuni Buddha mantra. Taya ta om mune mune maha munaye soha. Taya ta om mune mune maha munaye soha. Taya ta om mune mune maha munaye soha. And now the Medicine Buddha stanza and the mantra 7 times. Bhagawan with equal compassion for all, whose name, when merely heard, dispels the suffering of the lower realms, dispeller of disease and the 3 poisons, I prostrate to Medicine Buddha lapis light. Teata om bekanse, maha bekanse, raja samudgate soha. Teata om bekanse, maha bekanse, raja samudgate soha. Teata om bekanse, maha bekanse, raja samudgate soha. Ta om bekanse, maha bekanse, raja samudgate soha. Teata om bekanse, maha bekanse, raja samudgate soha. Teata om bekanse, maha bekanse, raja samudgate soha. Teata om bekanse, maha bekanse, raja samudgate soha. Now, still on page 34, we'll say the 4 immeasurables twice in English, and then we'll flip over to page 37, and at the bottom, it's we'll do the chanting version once in Tibetan. May all sentient beings have happiness and the causes of happiness. May all sentient beings be free from suffering and the causes of suffering. May all sentient beings be inseparable from the happiness that is free from suffering. May all sentient beings abide in equanimity, free from attachment for friends and hatred for enemies. May all sentient beings have happiness and the causes of happiness. May all sentient beings be free from suffering and the causes of suffering. May all sentient beings be inseparable from the happiness that is free from suffering. May all sentient beings abide in equanimity, free from attachment for friends and hatred for enemies. Now at the bottom of page 37. Sem chen tam che je wa dong te wei gu dong ten pa jur chig tu ngao dong duk ngao gi gu dong drel wa gu chig tu ngao me pe de wa dong mi drel wa gu chig Nye ring chang dang ni dang drel wei tang nyam la ne par gyur chig. Now, still on page 37, we'll say the Chenrezig mantra. There's also a verse of praise, which is not in the book. Not veiled by any fault, white in color, whose head a perfect Buddha crowns in light, gazing compassionately at all beings, to you, Chenrezig, all-seeing one, I prostrate. Om Mani Padme Hum, Om Mani Padme Hum, Om Mani Padme Hum, Om Mani Padme Hum. Om Mani Padme Hum, Om Mani Padme Hum, Om Mani Padme Hum, Om Mani Padme Hum. And then once again, the Tara mantra and the verse of praise is not in the book. Tare liberates from psychic existence. Tu Tare liberates from the 8 fears. Ture liberates from all sickness. I prostrate to the liberator, Mother Tara. Om Tare Tu Tare Ture Soha. 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 And now back to page 34 for Refuge and Bodhicitta prayer. And just for a change up, let's say it twice in English, and then we'll chant it once in Tibetan. I go for refuge until I am enlightened to the Buddha, the Dharma, and the Supreme Assembly. By the merits I create through listening to the Dharma, may I become a Buddha to benefit all sentient beings. I go for refuge until I am enlightened to the Buddha, the Dharma, and the Supreme Assembly. By the merits I create through listening to the Dharma, may I become a Buddha to benefit all sentient beings. Sangye chudang so ki chok nam la, jang chu bardu dagni kyab su chi, dagi chun yen ji pe su nam ji, drola pin shir sanje dru par shok. All right. Good morning. Welcome, everybody. I hope you all had a great holiday. Although the fact that we don't have a great holiday, some of us, is a little bit of what I'm going to talk about, because this is a time of year that can be sad if the holidays are stressful for you, or if you don't have anyone to spend your holiday with, or if you do have somebody to spend your holiday with and it's kind of unpleasant because it's family dynamics. And it's winter and the days are short and the nights are long and all those things. So it can be kind of easy to fall out of the habit of happiness. But there are tools to find happiness anyway, and we're going to talk about that a little bit today. I'm going to start with just reading the 8 verses of thought transformation. That's a whole entire teaching, which I'm not qualified to do, but we'll just read them and think about them. I'll read each one, and then we'll take a pause and think about what it says, and then go on to the next one. Determined to obtain the greatest possible benefit for all sentient beings who are more precious than a wish-fulfilling jewel, I shall hold them dear at most times, at all times. Wherever I go and whoever I am with, I shall always consider myself the lowest of all, and from the depths of my heart, hold others dear and supreme. Vigilant, the moment a delusion appears in my mind, endangering myself and others, I shall confront and avert it without delay. Whenever I see beings who are wicked in nature and overwhelmed by violent negative actions and suffering, I shall hold such rare ones dear as if I had found a precious treasure. When out of envy others mistreat me with abuse, insults, or the like, I shall accept defeat and offer the victory to others. When someone whom I have benefited and in whom I have great hopes gives me terrible harm, I shall regard that person as my holy guru. In short, both directly and indirectly do I offer every happiness and benefit to all my mothers. I shall secretly take upon myself all their harmful actions and suffering. Undefiled by the stains of the superstitions of the 8 worldly concerns, by perceiving all phenomena as illusory, I shall be released from the bondage of attachment. There's something about these verses, if you look at them, every one of them is kind of counter to the way we usually think. Like, what? Somebody's mean to me and I'm going to accept the defeat quietly and let them win? No, especially in this country, I think, in our culture. But one of the things that, so this is definitely a thought transformation because it's like teaching ourselves to think really differently from how we normally think in the course of our lives. But also one of the things that if you look at them, almost all of them are directly about putting others before we put ourselves. And that really is one of the ways that we find happiness because we're not thinking about me and what I didn't get and what I want and all the things that make us unsatisfied. We're busy thinking about other people. So, and it's also about being aware of our thoughts, and then if we're aware of them, we can start learning how to switch off the thoughts that don't serve us. Like wishing my daughter would talk to me. So I'm going to talk a little, just mention a couple of experiences that I've had or tricks that I have, and then we'll go to the real expert, His Holiness. So quite a few years ago, I was active in the PTA at my daughter's school, and there was something going on. Everybody was upset about something. I don't remember what it was because it wasn't that important. And but I was fussing about it in my mind and thinking and, wondering what we should do and how are we going to solve everything. And suddenly, just spontaneously, the thought popped into my head, this is just what's happening out there. And that really relieved it. It's like, oh yeah, this is just what's happening, which kind of leads to, my mom always used to say, this too shall pass. Nothing is permanent. Sometimes that's a source of dissatisfaction, but it's also when things are really bad, this too shall pass. Everything ends. Another little trick that's just a patience trick that I play with myself if I'm driving and somebody in front of me is going extremely slowly and I'm in a hurry and I want to get around them and I just, I have little thoughts. I say, well, maybe there's someone in that car who's not well, and every little bump increases their pain. Or maybe they're driving a 4-tiered wedding cake to the venue and they have to go very slowly. And maybe they also have like open glasses of champagne, which is illegal, but they don't want to spill anything. So anyway, and then I just want to share just a really sweet story about thinking about others. A couple of months ago, my older sister, who lives across the country, she was having a really bad time, and she needed to go pick up some prescriptions and return some books to the library. And she's not well, and so doing any kind of errand is just a really hard for her. So she called a friend of hers and asked her if she could drive her to these places, or else just run the errands for her. And Rowie said, "Oh, I'm so glad you called. When I was saying my prayers this morning, I was thinking, I don't have anybody that I can help today." And so I see Jill going like, whoa, because that was my reaction. It's like, clearly it's a habit of hers every day to look for who could she help. So, Eileen was giving her a service by asking for help, but also to live by that idea that every day, and I see some faces here of people that I know tend to think that way, maybe not as a practice every day, as a discipline, but it was just wonderful that that's something she thinks about when she says her prayers. So now let's go let the guy who really knows talk to us for a few minutes.
Okay, y'all bear with me while I get this up. And let's see, Tara, when I share this video, it goes to full screen. So I can't see or tell if you guys can hear it. So once I start the video, can you just unmute and say, yes, I can hear it, or no, I can't hear it? It's coming, y'all. Hang on. Oh, wait, wrong one. Hang on, I forgot to hit a couple buttons. I haven't done this in a while. Lisa knows. Getting there.
It's good.
Hang on, I pulled up the wrong one. That'll come later, I think. Emotion management, that the one? Okay. And make sure.
Does to your diet goals. They're lying to you about whole wheat bread. It's not healthy.
That's good.
It's packed with
Where do you get all your energy from?
I think a physical level, good sleep, at least 7 hours, sometimes 9 hours or 10 hours. Then naturally, as a Buddhist monk, usually afternoon, no solid sort of food. So next morning, always feel hungry. Almost like, because a hungry ghost, right? So, very heavy breakfast. I think, of course, these are matter. But then, I think mental level. I cannot claim I have sort of real peace in my mind. But I think comparatively, I think some certain amount of peace of mind, I think here. So when some very saddening or heartbreaking news come, and a short moment even sort of so bad, so sort of sad, sometimes a tear come, but that come from this year, then a short while remaining here, then goes from here. So perhaps I think something like, sometimes I feel like ocean, wave comes, always comes and goes. But underneath, ocean always remain calm. That I think one method, the emotions come, go. Here, I think one technique, I think some experience about consciousness. Consciousness looking by another consciousness. So that eventually get experience. Viewer, Tagenda, Tasa. Sheba jig daya de those combine. Taji sheba jig da, Tase sheba jig. Yujin sheba jig not Yujin niche.
One technique that could be helpful is to cultivate a certain habit of being able to watch one's own thought processes. And when you are able to do that, then you have the ability to observe what occurs in your mind so that you are not totally immersed in that actual experience.
Usually, when we develop attachment or anger, and whole our mind or whole self now becoming like anger. Actually not that. So you see, once you gain some experience, then when actually anger develops, then you try separate and look anger. That very helpful to see the false or negativeness of anger or this negative emotion. During that moment, usually, of course, we can have the recognition or awareness of the destructiveness of anger. But during during that moment, usually difficult. But through training, you can do. Anger comes at the beginning, yourself almost like one. But then you can look to anger. Then immediately the intensity of anger reduces. So now here, when sadness happens, try to look I from the separate, right? Separate from the sadness. I think that's one way. I think through training, through habituated way,
through cultivation of habit.
so that possible is to do. So that I think one way the thoughts, emotions is to come. But consciousness, basic consciousness or self remain there. Without much, when you make separation, then disturbance less. Some sense? What do you think? Some sense? Yes. Now, last question.
Nobody's talking about Maria.
So Geshe-la often talks about this too, you know, to take a moment and step back and breathe and consider, you know, I sort of think of it as buying myself a little space, creating a little space. I'd like to hear if anyone has any experience in doing this or techniques or advice to share with others.
I don't think this is advice, it's experience. If you ever have someone who's very angry, either at you or near you, and you watch them as a show, it's quite interesting. I can relax and realize, oh my, that's terrible, poor thing. Yeah, but I don't want to laugh at them.
Yeah,
But my mind changes.
that's great. Anyone else? This is going to be a very short morning.
If when I see someone that's really angry and out of control, I just think of it as sort of like play acting, or you know, it's just temporary, that they don't have the mental tools to deal with what they're feeling, which I feel like all my years here at the Buddha Center have brought me, so that my ups and downs are minimal compared to those that really go out of control. And I feel sorry for people that are that way, because I think it's very unhelpful, makes everybody upset, doesn't solve the problem, on and on, you know, all those things that we've been taught.
So now I'm going to put you on the spot, David, because you said now you've learned to have your ups and downs be less. So how do you do that? Do you know? Do you know what you're doing to reduce that? Because sometimes, yeah, anyway.
Well, the Dalai Lama was talking about it as though he achieves it, and I think I do too, to quite an extent, of you know, just through training your own mind. I mean, for years here, we've been hearing that anger is bad, and I think you can see that whenever you are in the presence of someone who's really that way. So if you remember that lesson, you know, it's something that gradually, I think, Buddhist thinking is something that kind of seeped into your mind, and slowly over the years changes the way you react and the way you think about the whole world. and your place in it and so on. And I think that's what's happened. And that we could all benefit from that.
Yeah. Do you find yourself like seeing that anger is about to arise and being able to avert it? And, do you have a tool for that? Or is it just that gradually your habits have changed and
I think I've somehow or other just adopted the attitude or come to the view that anger does no good and often does harm, so that thinking about how you could be angry about many things you hear on the news, but it would really ruin your day and not make any difference.
yeah.
The rest of the world is just going on doing whatever it's doing. And you could be incensed over what the government did today, or what some friend did or didn't do. But it's all just creating turmoil in your own mind and painfulness without making any difference in what's happening out there. I mean, you could be angry with a friend, but you ought to be thinking about how to maybe change their views, but still you should not yourself get all wrapped up about it, because it just worsens the whole situation and it isn't helpful.
Okay. Thanks, David. Someone else? Yes.
I like to think of, there's a distinction between anger and our response to it. Because anger is just an emotion, and there's no, emotions aren't good or bad. Because, I used to use, when I would teach clients, that, do you think Martin Luther King was angry about what was happening with race in our country? Of course he was. But look what he did with that anger. Instead of responding in a negative, hurtful way, he stepped back and was able to, what can we do about this? The other thing that I wanted to say is that there's a big difference between my response to my anger when I've been meditating on a regular basis, or taking care of myself, or reading the Dharma. It's amazing what that does to you. I can notice it in traffic. That my response is so much more compassionate than when I'm not doing those things. And so I can catch myself, if I'm sleep deprived or I haven't been meditating lately, my response is so different.
Great. Good. Thank you. What do you, when you talk to your clients, do you have tricks or, guidance that you can give them that they can use to start developing that ability?
Well, I'm retired now, so. But I used to, I used to teach mindfulness because, like I said, if you don't do this on a regular basis, you're just going to get sucked into it.
Yeah.
You can't help it.
Good. Great. Thank you.
Mhm.
Anyone else? Don back there?
So just a couple thoughts. So in a situation where I'm exposed to someone's anger, I try to in my best possible way to put myself in their place, because I certainly realize that anger is a normal human reaction. That's an emotion that we're all going to experience, unless you're really enlightened. But I just try to be compassionate about where they're coming from, and try to react to that in a way that maybe is helpful to them and helpful to me as well. And if I experience anger personally, I've really gotten it to the point where I can recognize that and say that what is triggering that? What is causing that aversion that I'm not accepting things the way they are? And try to look at what's triggering it within me, because I know it's not helpful.
Great, thank you. So we've talked a lot about anger because His Holiness used that as his main example. But what about other difficult emotions like sadness or, loneliness, feeling inadequate? Anyone have any offerings on how to shake ourselves out of that besides Roger Miller's advice, which is all you got to do is put your mind to it, knuckle down, buckle down, do it, do it, do it. I think it's a little harder than that. So
So you mentioned loneliness and what else did you say?
sadness,
Yeah.
depression, feeling inadequate.
Yeah, so the other day I was home by myself and I was all lonely, like, oh, what am I gonna do? What I need to do. And it's not for lack of people asking me to do things. And I had to recall like Geshe-la's words about the I think there's 8, and I'm not going to remember them all, but the 8 complications that humans have, loneliness being one of them, loss of a loved one another one, and there's 8 that I can't recall right now. And just remembering that, like, oh yeah, we all experience this at some point. And I was able to just kind of let it go. So just recalling,
Yeah.
these Dharma teachings are very powerful.
Great, wonderful, good.
Anyone online have anything to share? No?
Susie?
Again, what you said before, time passes. And do something or go to sleep. The time will pass.
Yeah.
And this will change.
Yeah. Yeah.
When I feel like that, sometimes I try to think of someone else who doesn't have the quiet time that I have. And often I envision a mother with kids and running around screaming and wanting this and wanting that. And it's going, wow, she would love to trade places with me for just a few minutes, right?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it's not all bad when you look at it in the view of someone else.
All right, good. Okay, well, let's, if no one else has something right now to share, let's take a few minutes and meditate. So you want to get in a good, comfortable meditation position? And have your back straight if you can, your head tilted down slightly. Eyes lightly closed or slightly open. And we'll just breathe, just watch the breath. Just watch the sensation at the opening of your nostrils. As you breathe in, it gets a little cooler. As you breathe out, it gets a little warmer. Just focus on that sensation. your mind starts to wander, just lightly bring it back. Exhaling, inhaling. Now think about a time in your life when you were happy. Doesn't have to be a big event. Could be something very small. Looking at a starry sky, watching the waves roll in on the ocean, seeing someone you love. Notice the details. The objects around you. Colors. The people. The sounds. The smells. Really be there, experiencing it all again. Now relax and bring your mind back into the room. This is a tool you can have with you anytime. If you're feeling sad, if you're feeling angry, if you're feeling depressed, if you're wondering what the world's going to go to heck in a handbasket, just give yourself, that was 3 minutes. Give yourself 3 minutes of being in a happy place. Okay, now they say fake it till you make it. And one of the ways to be happy is to act like we're happy. So we're going to have Jill lead us in our laughing yoga here. And if you're online and you're sitting down, stand up. We all need to stand up. Just, oh, yeah. Tell us what to do. Just.
Oh, I'm just looking at it. Oop. Okay. So I do need both hands. Can you hold that?
Okay.
I forgot. I haven't done this in years. So we are going to fake it. And have you ever been at a party or something where people start laughing and you start laughing and you don't even know what they're laughing at? And you think, why am I laughing? And it's just contagious. So we're just going to play on that and you're just going to have to do it with me or it's really embarrassing. Always will. Place your hands on your knees. Take a big breath in. Bend over. Oh man, that's funny. Oh, see, you're laughing. Thank you, Jill.
And now it's time for that video. Linda, we can all laugh along with His Holiness. I like that klezmer music to go with. Okay, that's it. So we're going to say our prayers. And we can all be happy because we're finishing a little bit early. Oh, yes, announcements.
Announcements before prayers or after? Do you have a preference?
I don't care, one way or the other.
I
Let's,
guess we can do it before.
let's do them before.
Everyone's-
Hi, I'm Elise Strebel, Outreach, and so many people have been inquiring about the Monks Walk for Peace that started in Fort Worth, Texas in October, and they're walking 2,300 miles all the way to Washington, D.C. to promote peace and compassion. And many people have asked, what is Kadampa Center doing to help out? Well, the path that they're taking is supposed to go through Raleigh sometime at the end of January. They're estimating at this time that they'll be in the area of NC State between January 20th and 30th. But everything can change. For example, just a day or two ago, when they're in Georgia right now, they're a little bit east of Athens, Georgia, and they were supposed to walk through Athens. And at the last minute, they changed their route and did not go through Athens. So that can happen here as well. So the best we can do is to keep tuned. You can follow them for the map of where they are each day and the overall map by Googling, or especially in Facebook is where they're really tracking things. Now, Kadampa Center has offered to be a place of lodging for them or a place to provide a meal. We are working with the area coordinator to understand what their actual needs will be when they're in this area. At this time, the assumption is that we are a little bit too far off their planned route to be a place where they would stay. They try to stay at a place that's no more than 1 mile off their route. And I honestly don't know exactly what their route is right now, but somebody does. And that may change. And if at the last minute it changes and they are near here and we can offer them a place to stay and or to eat here, we will be asking for donations of sheets, blankets, food, whatever it is that they need. We've also asked the area coordinator as they come closer, do they need things like socks, shoes, coats, food, water, whatever. So I'll do my best to keep up with what is going to be current and closer to the time that they'll be here, and do my best to let everybody know. So please watch our website, and Linda will help put out announcements. At the very least, if they come in this area, we'll try to at least get a group together to greet them at a designated place. So just keep tuned. Everything is fluid, flexible, but please keep up with them on Google or Facebook. And they do take monetary donations. Of course, that's always very helpful to get exactly what they need and where and when they need it. So just keep tuned. Thank you, everybody.
Sorry. Yeah, like you said, it is ever changing, but as of yesterday, on one site, their estimated arrival through this area had been moved back to February 13th-ish. I'm not on Facebook. It was on the website that's tracking them. There is a website that's tracking them too. Also, I'm already, like, I wanted to ask about it here, but I'm already arranging groups of people, of friends and coworkers to go out and greet them on the road at some point, at some place. So if we want to like get together about it, or there would be 2 places and 2 times if people couldn't make the one for here, and then I do another one. But I've been doing that, and I've got a lot of people interested, and families with children and dogs. You can watch the videos online. It's amazing. And people taking dogs out too to greet Aloka. It's so beautiful. Thank you.
Right now, there's 19 monks and 1 dog.
Thank you so much, Elise. I'm Coco. I do the Dharma shop and also just like community events here at the Kadampa Center. So with the announcement that Elise made today, we're going to kind of hold off on the diaper collection until so we can focus on the monks and getting the supplies that they need. So just stay tuned. Also, I've been working on events, like a social event calendar, and I've got it pretty much set up for the entire year. I've got some ideas for some club meetups. A lot of them will take place on Sundays after the teachings. So you can just hang around and meet up with these different groups, and we'll have more information out on the newsletters as I start confirming the dates. But some exciting clubs to get you guys excited about. We're looking at having a movie club. So that would be taking place like off-site. So maybe seeing some independent movies or whatever. And a lot of these things are going to be kind of group led. So once you guys start meeting together, you'll be able to dictate like what kind of things you want to do when you come to these meetups. Another one is a music club. So we've got a lot of talented musicians here. And then for those of us who would like to maybe learn some instruments, hopefully we can all get together and they can teach us and we can, jam out. Another one is like a foodie club. So maybe like once a month and check out some amazing different restaurants that we have in the area. Another is the book club. So the book club, I'll get back to that because you have announcements for the book club. Another one's a crafting club. So social crafting. So it's anything. It would be anything from knitting and crocheting to, I don't know, painting or whatever. Like we'll get funky with it. Another one's a journaling club. And that's also kind of like a group discussion kind of thing. So we'll write together, we'll talk. Then we have like the board game, so a gaming club. And we're still working on another session for Tai Chi. And we're also going to do community engagements where we're going off sites to do some work out in the community. And the last one that I have is the Dharma Shop Club. So for those of you who want to help kind of like find items and help kind of build our Dharma shop, this would be something that we just meet once a month. We'll research, resource items to get here in the Dharma shop and just chat and have fun. And then for the book club, that starts, hold on, sorry. I don't have my glasses on, so give me a second. I don't know. Okay, I think it's this one. Okay, yep, all right. So our book club is going to start on Sunday, February 15th from about 12:15 to 1:15 here on site. It's going to be led by Allie Burke. There's no registration. And the first book is going to be Clean Clear, Refuge, Bodhicitta, and the Nature of the Mind by Lama Yeshe. And we're going to try to get some copies here at the bookstore so you guys can purchase. Yeah, I think that's it. Any questions? No? Yeah, it's going to, okay, hold on. February 15th. Yes, and more information is going to be in our weekly newsletter. And yeah, so I'm excited. Hope you guys are excited. All right, here you go.
Thank you, Coco. Yeah, so the book club, Allie's going to lead it, as Coco mentioned, and the first 3 chapters of the book will be talked about and discussed on that first date, February 15th. Yeah, and then subsequent months after that, on the 3rd Sunday of the month, I almost said Saturday, 3rd Sunday of the month, then more chapters will be added for discussion. So, and the book you can get from Lama Yeshe Wisdom Archive, and there's a Kindle version on Amazon as well. And then like Coco, it's Clean Clear. Yeah, and then there's a subtitle, but if you just remember Clean Clear, yeah, Lama Yeshe. All right, and then as far as spiritual programs announcements goes, we do have the, I forget what number we're on, but do you remember what number? DB module? It's Samsara and Nirvana. So It starts tomorrow night with Steve Smith, and that's from 7 to 8:30 here in the Gampa and online as well. So if you're interested in Samsara and Nirvana, and probably you'll learn those that 8 complications that I can't remember all of them. And then let's see what else is coming up. I do this every time and then I forget. It is. I need to write it down. I think that's it. That'll do it for now. All right. Thanks, everyone. Donna, take it away.
Okay. We got so much going on here. It's wonderful. Okay, so on page 246, the blue tab in the Gold Prayer Book, we'll begin with the dedication verses from Master Shantideva. May all beings everywhere, plagued by sufferings of body and mind, obtain a notion of happiness and joy by virtue of our merits. May no living creature suffer, commit evil, or ever fall ill, be afraid or belittled with a mind weighed down by depression. May the blind see forms and the deaf hear sounds. May those whose bodies are worn with toil be restored on finding repose. May the naked find clothing, the hungry find food. May the thirsty find water and delicious drinks. May the poor find wealth, those weak with sorrow find joy. May the forlorn find hope, constant happiness, and prosperity. May there be timely rains and bountiful harvests. May all medicines be effective and wholesome prayers bear fruit. May all who are sick and ill quickly be freed from their ailments. Whatever diseases there are in the world, may these never occur again. May the frightened cease to be afraid, and those bound be freed. May the powerless find power, and may people think of benefiting each other. For as long as space remains, for as long as sentient beings remain, until then may I too remain to dispel the miseries of the world. Now on page 244, the Long Life Prayer for His Holiness. In the land encircled by snow mountains, you are the source of all happiness and good. All powerful Chenrezig Tenzin Gyatso, please remain until samsara ends. And on the opposite page, excuse me, the prayer for Khensa Rinpoche Jetson Lobsang Delek, the one who mastered his speech at a very young age, the one with great patience who received the name Avatare, the one with great precision who spread the teachings of Lama Tsongkhapa on bliss and void, Lama, ornament of the yellow hat tradition, please remain until samsara ends. Inside the back cover, the prayer for the swift return of Chabje Lama Zopa Rinpoche. Peerless teacher and assembly of the children of the victorious ones, Shravakas and Pratyeka Buddhas, victorious Lozang father and sons, along with the lineage masters, all the objects of refuge of the infinite lands, please bestow the virtue and goodness of accomplishing this prayer here and now. Holding and spreading the Muni's precious and complete teachings through explanation and practice, you are the armor of patience that is never discouraged. Incomparable, venerable Guru, to you I make requests. While striving single-pointedly for the sake of the victorious one's teachings, the sole gateway through which all benefit and happiness emerge, and from other living beings, you suddenly departed to peace. What a great loss. Nevertheless, through the undeceiving truth of the blessings of the ocean of the three jewels and the great waves of bodhicitta of the children of the victorious ones, may the smile of a reincarnation swiftly beam in glory for fortunate disciples. And inside the front cover, the prayer for Geshe Gelek's long life. Supreme Guide, you lead us on the many paths of virtue. A shining sun, you give us the best of excellent explanations. Supreme virtuous friend, you are a constant Dharma companion. Lama, who has renounced fame, may you ever remain. And for Geshe Sangpo, you who have steadfast imprints of virtuous qualities and keep the instructions of the glorious Guru in your heart, you who pass day and night with noble activities, great virtuous friend, may you have a very long life. And now 7 Tara mantras to benefit all beings. Om Tare Tu Re So Ha Om tare tu re so ha. 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 Thanks, everyone.
Thank you, Donna. For those of you who might be curious about LOM-RIM class on Wednesday, as far as I know, it's still on. So we'll see how Geshe Gelik's feeling by then. Keep an eye out on the website. Bye, everybody online. See ya.